Today is a good day because today is Boost Bottle Day. So I've used a bit more of that black enamel spray, and we're going to grab some cable ties, stick it right up in there. Then we'll put our modified manifold on and see how we go. So the boost bottle is strapped in, wired down to our modified intake. Yeah, we're still connected to the big tank there. There's still no fuel in the little tank. So we'll try and get it started and we'll see if we have any noticeable difference at all. We should see some fuel being sucked up into this line here. So, we're having sputterings of fire. It wants to start, but I feel like there's just not enough pressure getting to that boost bottle to actually let it start. So I'm going to have to take it out into the road, take it down the hill, and try and get it started that way. I prefer to try and do it in the backyard because it's not as far to walk, but when you've made that trip a dozen times, you may as well have just gone around the block. So unfortunately my other camera is still charging, so if it does fire for the first time I won't get it on video, but I just want to be able to fire it up and get it warmed. I didn't see that coming. That's the first time I have ever seen an exhaust bend like that. Now the good news is I've got 3 spare exhausts to choose from. So we'll go and grab the exhaust from the original Mark 1 kit that was also black. If you've been watching my videos, this is the one that I sprayed black for the 50cc. That's phenomenal. Just look at how thin that material is as well. So we'll pop this exhaust off and try again. So we just took the bike on a bit of a warm-up ride. There are signs that the boost bottle is working. There is definitely fuel vapor being sucked up through the lines. You can see it, which is a good sign. The bike is running a little bit rough this morning. Obviously we did have that issue with the exhaust blowing apart, which, look, that's not because of the boost bottle. That's just because I've done a couple of 100 Ks on a inferior quality exhaust, the one that came in the 50cc kit. If you've watched that video, you'll get a fair idea that the quality of everything in that kit was pretty well terrible. The engine itself did run great, you know, it fired up pretty much straight away, but I only rode it the once. But I did a lot of work on that motor, so I'd be surprised if that failed. But we've gone ahead and put the old Mark 1 exhaust on, because that came out of the same quality kit that this was. I really got lucky with that first kit. I'm thinking I may need to adjust the needle on the carburetor again, because I'm just not getting much response early in the throttle range, and I think I'm just dumping too much fuel in there too soon. It seems to really struggle and bog until full throttle, and so I'd rather just... Shut up, aeroplane. I'd rather just put it back to where it was, stock, before trying again. But what I've got to do now is adjust the clutch, because the clutch, it was still gripping when I had it clicked in. So I've just adjusted the cable, and now I've just got to adjust the plate in there so it'll actually let go. So yeah, I'll go do that now. Alright, so we were idling. There's definitely fuel vapor going up into the lines, at least, if not making it all the way to the bottle. Idle is a bit weird. There most likely is an air leak somewhere in there, but for the life of me I couldn't spot where. It'll be minute. My biggest aim with putting this bottle on was to try and get better economy, which I'll test using the same method as I did yesterday, which I got an incredible 50 kilometres out of that tank, which is amazing. So obviously, as soon as I put this in, I changed the dynamics of the intake, and there was a fair bit of tinkering and tuning I had to do just to get it running. And there goes the fuel pressure. All right. So the bike actually runs fairly well once it's all warmed up. There's no real difference to the bike's performance in the top of the rev range, honestly, but it feels a lot smoother low down. It cruises at a slow speed a lot easier than it did beforehand. So what we'll do is we'll get our fuel mixed up and we'll get ready to do our big endurance. very, very difficult to idle this bike. Now we're about just under 10 k's in. .93 according to the GPS. 11.3 according to the trip meter on the bike. Now I am actually inclined to trust the trip meter over the GPS. Reason being is that I compared it against my car. I rode a distance on the bike and then I repeated it in the car, and I got pretty much the exact same result. Judging by the fact that I've still got 3 bars of battery, probably means that I wasn't actually recording any of that, but maybe I had the hindsight to turn it off when I sat down. I don't remember. I'm honestly just that tired. Alright, so I'm having a good rest here. I'm tired, my backside's killing me. I've only done 26 kilometres. However, the bike's going fantastically. I can't even see it sort of look like that, I guess. But yeah, I just needed to give my backside a rest from all the vibrations. It's hard work, fake pedaling, it really is. You know, it is actually more tiring than I think most people give it credit for, I guess. You think you don't really have to pedal that much, which you don't, it is easier. But it's still a lot of work, you know, just holding on for that long. Alright, a little bit of selfie power here. So, there we go. Massive amount of traffic. I forgot that it was the end of a long weekend, so there is so much traffic. I honestly, most of the time you ride along these country roads, there's barely any traffic, and it is just absolutely mental today. I'm having fun though. It is a beautiful day for a ride. Bloody, can I just show you? So yeah, I'm just giving myself a good 10 or 15 minutes rest. I think more than anything else, more than the pedaling and the vibrations, it's the stress of how much traffic is out and about today. On these narrow country roads, you've really got nowhere to go but into the gutter. You can't ride along the grass. It is mud, it is slush. I'm gonna sleep well tonight, that's for sure. So I'm still recording with my little action camera there, which this little $40 camera has been absolutely fantastic. It's taken literally everything I've thrown at it. The issue I do have, I guess, is it's not very good for depth. You know, if you want to look into the scenery, you really can't see anything. But it's great for the wide angle shots, I guess. despite the fact that I apparently lost most of my footage from the day, I do have to say the bike performed fantastically, especially compared with the first litre and a half I did without the boost bottle. That just seemed to be the day for everything breaking down. And on that day I had, apart from a few issues with the idle, no real problems whatsoever. The bike just went and went and went. The biggest improvement I've noticed with the boost bottle has been low end torque, and I don't mean how quickly it accelerates, I mean how smoothly it accelerates. It's a lot easier to travel at lower speeds, which for a lot of people doesn't sound like much fun, but I don't like spending all day at wide open throttle because things will break. These are not engines that are necessarily designed to be at high RPM all the time anyway. But now the bike cruises really comfortably between about 25 and 30 k's an hour, and that is just perfect. Since this day has gone, I have ridden, I think I worked it out to be around about 170 kilometres over the next couple of days. And yeah, the bike's had the usual niggles and things going wrong, which will be in the next video. But all in all, I've been absolutely astonished with how much better and how much smoother the bike rides now compared to what it did beforehand. So, do-it-yourself boost bottle made out of PVC pipe gets a thumbs up from me. So, we made it back. The bike's still in one piece. And we managed to do almost another 7 kilometres, and that is good.